Hey man, welcome back to another video. You already know what we doing today, man. Let's get it, man. Yes, sir. Every day with it, man. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way to Sunday. You feels me? But we not uploading on Sunday. Just gotta let y'all know that. But yeah, man. What it do with y'all, man? Hope y'all been good. Hope y'all been alright. You know what I'm saying, man? It's a beautiful, beautiful day outside. It's warm nowadays. So man, go outside whenever you can. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. But since you clicked on the video, you might as well like, comment, and subscribe, bro. Because y'all be playing with this subscribe button. I just hit a honey bun, you know what I'm saying? Yes, sirskis. But let's just keep running this thing up, you know what I'm saying? So like, comment, and subscribe. And then once you subscribe, hit that little bell so you can get all the notices because it's an everyday thing. Now let's slide into this video, man. So today, this is a little fun video for me, you know what I'm saying? This is a video that I personally am going to enjoy, and I'm gonna be watching definitely myself. But especially while I'm editing, this is gonna be amazing for me, right? But so today we're gonna be talking about the running backs that have had, well, I should say the best running back seasons ever. Okay. So without further ado, man, we can go ahead and slide right into this thing, man. Hey! So, the year is 2005, okay? Before he said, you know, you're dead to me, Saquon, Tiki Barber had one of the best seasons ever by a running back, okay? He had 2,390 scrimmage yards. Like, whoa. He was out there moving and grooving, and most of them came from handoffs, not even catching that thing out the backfield. 1,800 rushing yards, right? You know what I'm saying? With like 9 touchdowns or something right there. You know I'm gonna have it for y'all, right? And this man had about 530-ish, you know, receiving yards with about, I want to say 2 touchdowns and 54 catches. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Like I said, it'll all be here for you guys. And man, that's a dominating like performance there. Like, oh my goodness. Especially in the year 2005. You know who his quarterback was. You know, got drafted a year, you know, right before that. You know what I'm saying? He had one of them Manning brothers. You feel me? And it's just ridiculous. You know, I'm not going to spend too much time on number 5. But I just wanted to say, Tiki's that boy, man. If y'all want to learn about some lost running backs in history, Tiki Barber. Now, number 4 on this list, well, number 4, not 8. Number 4 on this list, we got the man, the myth, the legend, CMC, Christian McCaffrey. But this is before he came, you know, to San Fran. Even though he did lead the league this year in rushing yards, it was nowhere near this year, the year of 2019, okay? To his third year in the league, right? 2017, everything, yeah. So his third year in the league, right? And he balled out. I mean, phenomenal here. I mean, whoa. Scrimmage yards of 2,392, right? 2,392 scrimmage yards. Okay? Man was 8 yards away from 2,400 scrimmage yards. Ridiculous. Crazy, right? He had, like I said, you know, he had about, don't get me lying. He had about 1,381, right? Which is, you know, 1,381 rushing yards, you know what I'm saying? But he complemented that with 15 rushing touchdowns. Then he had 116 catches that year as a freaking running back. That's an exclusive. The 100 catch club is exclusive for receivers. So the fact that a running back did it is ridiculous. And he had 16 over that 100 mark, right? And then he finished with 1,500 receiving yards. Once again, if you take this season is so ridiculous that if you took his rushing stats, that, you know, 1,381 with 15 touchdowns, and just that, no receiving, that is a great season for a running back. Then, if you take his 116 catches and that 1,005 yards, that is a great season for a receiver, especially a number 2 receiver, but even a good number 1, not as, not a top tier, but still a lower tier number 1 receiver. That is still amazing. You know what I'm saying? And he complimented that with like 4 touchdowns, receiving. I mean, what? I mean, the man was averaging like 140 something total yards a game that year. Like, that is mind boggling. That is ridiculous, bro. He was able to do that. Now, granted, he was on a team that didn't have really anybody else to get the ball, right? So it makes sense. But still, nonetheless, it's just insane that this man was able to do that. Now, number 3 on this list. 3 skis. Yes, sir, ski. My favorite number. Anyway, number 3 on this list, we have CJ2K. Now, everybody knows the season I'm talking about, right? This is one of the most famous, years of a running back. The year is 2009 here, right? His second year in the league. And this man had the most scrimmage yards by a player in NFL history since they've, even started tracking scrimmage yards. What? Like, insane. He had so many rushing yards. It was a year. He had 2,006 rushing yards. That's a year. Some of y'all were born in that year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Some of you young cats. Well, not even young. That's just 3 years after me. But, it's just crazy that, the fact that this man was doing that. Then he had 14 touchdowns, right? Then he had 503, receiving yards and like 50 catches. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 extra touchdowns in the air. This man was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Averaging over 100 yards rushing a game. I mean, just do the math yourself. You know what I'm saying? 25 divided by 16. You feel me? This man was ridiculous. He was just messing. I mean, bro, what? I mean, granted, his quarterback, don't get me started on his quarterback, dude, around this time. The Tennessee franchise was not really anything around this time. But they had CJ2K. And that's all that you needed. You know what I'm saying? He was out there. You know what I'm saying? Zeke joint. He was out there killing these boys. And it's just ridiculous that a man was able to do that. Now, granted, he did hold that 40-yard dash time for forever because of, you know what I'm saying? He was just so much of a freak of nature, and that helped, him get that 2006 rushing yards because once he got into space, it was raps. It was raps. It was raps. I literally got to show you a highlight. Like, look at this. Like, bro, let's both watch this. Ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? Like, this man was out here messing y'all up. Like, it's very ridiculous. And it's just crazy. And you should know that these next 2 are mind-blowing. If this is number 3 as the most scrimmage yards ever. Now, we're getting to number 2. These top 2 are juicy. And number 1 and number 2, I flip-flopped like 3 times. But I'll come to my decision, okay? And number 2, the year is 2000. Greatest show on turf. Marshall Faulk. Okay? Marshall Faulk had an insane year with 2,429 scrimmage yards. What? And crazily enough, he had the same amount of rushing yards that CMC had in 2019 at 1,381. You know what I'm saying? 1,381 rushing yards. Huh? But, he didn't score a lot of touchdowns then, but also who his quarterback was too. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really blame him for that. His quarterback was going to throw that thing around. He was going to feed people, right? But anyway, so, he only had 7 touchdowns, you know what I'm saying? But he had 5 through the air, and then he had 87 catches in the air, right? Which is insane, especially in this year, the year of 2000, right? And then he had 1,048 receiving yards. Huh? As a running back? What? What did you just say? 1,048. That's insane. I'm talking about 1048 with the comma behind the 1. It's just insane to me, man. I mean, his averages are ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? He's, averaging about, 140, almost 150 yards a game. Maybe over 150, but I'm pretty sure it's in that 140 range. A game. Meaning, no matter what, you can count in the year 2000. And then if you thought that was great, right? Well, the year before this, party like it's 1999, you feel me? He had the 19th best season as a running back to me. I should say he had the 19th most scrimmage yards in NFL history, and then he still had a crazy season, just not as crazy as this one. But we're talking about the year 2000, right? Well, in 2001, he wins the MVP of the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So it's Marshall Faulk had a few years there, and y'all will see on this Football Reference that this dude, if he doesn't play those last few years of his career, the statistics and the numbers won't be behind it. But what he did in his respective years in his prime, and you equate that to other people's prime, bro, Marshall Faulk is a top 3 all time. If we're just taking primes, if we're not taking, complete player, best running back ever, best NFL running back ever, I should say, because not college, right? But, best NFL running back ever, he's up there in the discussion because of his prime, but his later few years kind of take him out of the top 3 discussion, to me, with Sweetness, Barry, and I don't want to say Emmett, but to me, LT, Thean Thomason, right? Which was a phenomenal segue because at number 1, we have Thean Thomason. My favorite ever. Low-key could be the GOAT running back ever. Right? With that 1 year where he had 28 touchdowns. And we're going to get to that. Right? But let me set the stage for you, okay? So, the Chargers are okay, they're alrighty. You know what I'm saying? The year's 2003, rather, okay? 2003, the Chargers are, right? But Thean, Hey, let me calm down, okay? This is my favorite episode. Let me relax, okay? But this man had 2,370 scrimmage yards. Like, right. This man had 1,600 rushing yards. To be exact, he had 1,645, right? With 13 rushing touchdowns, right? 100 catches for 725 yards, but for a running back, that's still great, especially for the time, Don't try to shortchange my boy, you know what I'm saying? And then 4 touchdowns through the air, right? You know what I'm saying? That's amazing, averaging over 100 yards, plus, right? Way more than that, you know what I'm saying? A game, right? That's crazy, right? But he has another season a few years later where I couldn't really pick between these two, right? Well, in this season in 2006, so 3 years later, he wins the MVP of the National Football League. After winning, well, I guess, not after winning it, right? But, still, he won it. But he had 1,800 rushing yards, right? Then this man had 28 rushing touchdowns. 28 rushing touchdowns. What? This man had how many? Like, what? So, right? And then this man had 508 yards through the air with 56 catches and then 3 touchdowns through the air. So if you kept up with what I just said, he had 31 touchdowns. 31 total touchdowns as a freaking running back. Quarterbacks don't even get that. It is the passing era in 2024. We're in the passing era where being a quarterback is cool. Being a running back is not, right? It just is what it is, right? And some quarterbacks aren't even getting 31 touchdowns in a season. And this man did it as a running back in 2006. Bro, you gotta get a man his credit. You already know averaging over 100 a game. You know what I'm saying? He used to get a honey bun like he was a fat boy. You feel me? And it's just crazy how y'all need to start putting some respect on my boy name. Now, shout out to the Honey Badger. He brought up LT's name whenever he was talking about Bijan Robinson. Now, I got to see a lot of Bijan before I can compare him to LT. Now, does he move like LT? He doesn't have that stiff pause, super pause, but he doesn't have that stiffy like LT. LT would jab you and throw you. He'd be like, ah, you know what I'm saying? While Bijan is just an athlete. I feel like he can do everything, right? But he just didn't have that signature, you know, right? Which is fine, even though he had that insane juke on the sideline. I forget what week that was, but he was like, right? But nonetheless, so, whatever. But back to LT here, right? It's just, he is my GOAT running back. It just is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Because that man just, of this season in particular, MVP with 28 touchdowns. What? Woo! Anyway, man, with all that being said, that was a little lot to run through, especially with my boy LT Ski, you know what I'm saying? But I hope I put y'all onto a little bit, especially with that Tiki Barber reference. I know a lot of y'all probably already knew who Tiki was, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I put you on to Tiki Barber, no. But I'm saying maybe he got lost in your brain somewhere or something, Well, maybe not because of his comments about Saquon, but his on the field stuff, you feel me, may have gotten lost in your brain because he's the lesser of the brothers. Rondé was really that boy out there in Tampa at corner. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Nonetheless, man, I appreciate y'all for listening. Appreciate y'all for watching. We out of this thing, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm back tomorrow. Love.